Hello again.
That shovel over there with the interesting handle, do you think I could borrow it?
Dr. Bolay took great interest in that shovel. Don't know why. He never used it. Just like to see it hanging there. Me, I use it to dig up roots.
You mean like tree roots?
No, I mean roots like tannus, black cohosh, valerian. Roots that in the right hands are very special, very powerful. However, right now I need mushrooms. I was hoping to get 'em picked tonight, but from the looks of all this potting I still have to do...
I'd be happy to pick them for you.
Why, what a generous offer. All right, then. I need 5 painted conchs. They're mushrooms that have got a short, fat stem and a large bell-shaped cap covered with big red dots. You might find 1 or 2 here in the garden, but you'll have better luck in the boggy part of the cemetery. You get me 5, no more, no less, and I'll let you borrow that shovel.
Deal.
You can put 'em in this bag. How else may I be of service to you?
I'll see you later.
Thanks for coming by.
This has got to be a painted conch. Another painted conch. Yes!
Did you pick me those mushrooms yet?
Sure did.
Well, bless your heart, you did it.
Actually, picking the one growing on the log sticking out of the swamp was a little hairy.
Oh, my. I forgot to warn you about Bernie, didn't I?
If by Bernie you mean the alligator that almost had me for dinner, yeah, you did.
He's another one of Dr. Bolay's pets. He'd kick that log to get Bernie's attention, then feed him marshmallows. Problem is, Now that gator leaps up and snaps every time someone so much as touches that log. I should have said something, but I've gotten so used to Bernie, I just plain forgot. Anyway, feel free to help yourself to that shovel. You earned it.
Whose boat is tied up down there by Bernie, do you know?
That would be my boat. Comes in very handy when I need to forage for certain swamp-dwelling plants.
I'd better get going.
Come see me anytime.
Hey, Nancy. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Meaning...
Are you familiar with the legend of the so-called crystal skulls?
Is that where aliens supposedly scattered a bunch of perfectly formed crystal skulls all around the world like thousands of years ago? And all the skulls have different magical powers?
Something like that, yeah. Apparently Henry's uncle was the proud owner of the Whisperer, the skull that was supposed to make whoever owned it live forever.
Only now he's dead and another superstition bites the dust.
Maybe, maybe not. See, this book I found in Bruno's library said no one who has owned the Whisperer has ever died of natural causes.
So how did they die?
They were all murdered.
Come on, you don't believe that crystal skull stuff is true, do you?
Absolutely not. But right now, what I think doesn't matter. The people who knew Bruno had the skull, if one of them believed in the Whisperer's power, they may have figured the only way they'd ever be rid of Bruno was to cause his death.
But didn't he die of a stroke or something?
Heart attack.
Well, there you go. Natural causes.
Heart attacks can be induced.
You've been watching too many of those forensic detective shows.
That may be, but what's really interesting is the skull is missing.
That is interesting.
And I'll bet you anything that's what my bony friend in the red ascot was looking for.
Does Henry know where the skull is?
He doesn't know anything about it. At least that's what he says. But if that skull is still around here, I intend to find it.
I kind of figured that.
Henry confessed that he sold off some of Bruno's things because he needed money to keep his girlfriend Summer happy.
She's high maintenance, huh?
Extremely. You're so lucky.
Hey, don't I know it. Think he sold off the crystal skull?
I don't think so, no. He acts like he's never heard of the crystal skull.
And so the search goes on.
Bruno Bolet's doctor, Gilbert Buford, was apparently Bruno's best friend as well.
Think Bruno told him about the skull?
Yes, in fact, Dr. Buford told Bess that Bruno showed it to him once. But apparently he told Bruno the skull was bogus, and Bruno got a little ticked off. Never showed it to him again.
Well, when it comes to murdering someone and making it look like a heart attack, a doctor's got to be right up there when it comes to suspects.
Don't worry, I've been thinking the same thing.
So what else is going on?
In order to find that crystal skull, it looks like I'm going to have to find all of Bruno's glass eyes.
Bruno wore a glass eye?
He wore a lot of glass eyes. Not all at once, of course, but from this box I found in his study, it looks like he had at least 25.
What makes you think finding them will lead you to the skull?
Something Bruno said to Professor Hotchkiss, whom I've met before, by the way, in Wisconsin. Did I ever tell you about her?
Why does that name bring Boots to mind? Boots and cheese.
Anyway, it turns out she's an expert on the crystal skulls. So Bruno called her once, and when she asked him if he knew where the skull called the Whisperer was, he said, "The eyes have it."
He meant eyes with an E instead of an A.
Right.
Did he lose all these eyes or hide them on purpose?
I'm pretty sure he hid them on purpose.
And I thought Henry was weird.
While I was picking mushrooms for Renee, I almost lost my hand to one of Bruno's pets.
You have a big dog or something?
A big alligator named Bernie.
How can you make a pet out of an alligator?
Apparently by exploiting their fondness for marshmallows.
Well, stay away from him. I like your hands just the way they are.
I can't quite figure out whether Renee neglected to tell me about him by accident or on purpose.
Hey, if you're not sure, you'd better stay away from her, too.
That's it for now.
Keep me posted. You got that?
Got it. Bye, Ned.
Bye, Nance.